cysticercosis and trichinellosis. By the way, sabi ng mga pasyente ko, Dr. Navarro, I'm not eating pork anymore. But one time, nagluto sila ng, parang sinigang and so on, and they were using pork. I didn't eat pork. Hinigop ko na yung sabaw na But I didn't eat pork. Sabi ko, ang sabaw na hinigop mo ay binaboy na sabaw. Next time. Luke 11:13. If the son asks for a bread from any father among you, will he give him a stone? Or did he ask for a fish? Will he give him a serpent instead of fish? Or if he asks for an egg, will he offer him a scorpion? If you then be evil, know how to give good gifts to your children. So the Lord implies, egg is good. That if you do not give eggs to your children, your son can become sick. He can become serious, and even he can die, as if you were bitten by a scorpion. Eggs prevent all diseases of mankind. Heart attack, stroke, cancer, kidney failure, liver failure, because eggs contains cysteine amino acid, which converts into glutathione, a superpower antioxidant. Eggs contain 400 carotenoids, 400, not one, not two, not three. 400 carotenoids will protect us. Eggs contains choline that converts into lecithin. It will remove all the plaque in the brain to prevent stroke, all the plaque in the heart to prevent heart attack, all the plaque in the kidney to regenerate the kidney, all the fats in the liver to regenerate the liver so it can detoxify that. The Lord said that egg is good, and we should follow that. Egg is an excellent source of complete protein since it contains all the essential amino acids. When you say essential source of complete protein, all 8 essential, that means 100% egg protein will become part of the human body. If the protein lacks essential amino acid, katulad ng gulaman, it will just become uric acid. You cannot use that, and it will cause joint pain. So very important ang complete protein. We have only two superpower protein: whey, powder, whey milk, and egg. The richest source of choline, a cholesterol esterifier, to remove all the plaques in the brain, the heart. Lecithin found in the yolk aids in fat assimilation and raises HDL level. We discussed that thing. L-carb, okay? Highest biological value. Choline in eggs is essential nutrient needed for normal functioning of cells. That is FASEB Journal 2008. Cysteine in egg as glutathione peroxidase is a powerful antioxidant capable of deactivating hydrogen peroxide free radical, hydroxyl free radical, Singlet oxygen, and Superoxide free radical. Egg is a rich source of lutein and zeaxanthin. It reduces the incidence of age-related macular degeneration. In macular degeneration, the central point of the retina is destroyed, so the vision is only peripheral vision, without elevating serum lipids and lipoprotein. Eating eggs daily does not have a significant impact on blood cholesterol of healthy adults. Next slide. Choline and betaine in eggs significantly lower levels of chronic inflammatory markers including homocysteine and SS high sensitivity C-reactive protein. Helps promote, that's from the Journal of Clinical Nutrition 2008. Eggs help promote weight loss by helping people feel more satisfied. It has a high satiety value. That means if you eat 2 eggs, 3 eggs, you don't have any more appetite to eat. So para sa mga matataba, para maging sexy kayo, next time when I see you again, you are sexy. And preventing snacking between meals, thereby reducing overall calorie consumption. Transfer factors in milk and egg. Okay, these transfer factors, they are not antibodies, okay? But with the transfer factors, we can produce antibodies, okay? And we find that in milk, ruminants, and in egg. Has the ability to increase natural killer cell, immunomodulating properties, as an antigen-dependent macrophage inhibition factor, and increase resistance to microbes that is Escherichia. And that is now vulnerable for destruction by the macrophages. So that's the effect of egg white if it is raw. And egg yolk is high in cysteine amino acid. Remember, cysteine is superpower antioxidant because it converts to glutathione. So glutathione has two roles. Glutathione is an antioxidant, prevents damage. But glutathione can become glutathione peroxidase in the liver to detoxify the body of toxic metals. It has a chelating effect. Okay? Now, the cysteine amino acid, yes. By the way, I just finished this. Cysteine amino acid, if the yolk is overcooked, the cysteine becomes cystic amino acid. It can no longer convert into glutathione. Yes, Melody?
We need to eat it raw.
For cancer patients, I require them to eat them raw because of the lysozyme in egg white. But for non-cancer patients, you can cook it in butter if you like. Enjoy it with butter. I use butter extensively since 2002. I saw good results in my family alone, and even my patients. They are well-behaved people. Yeah, very, very much well-behaved because of the full nutrient in the brain. Oh, example, my son, he was jogging in Baguio, right? Jogging in Baguio. He was hit by a taxi. Okay? Tumansik siya, nang matauhan siya, that was 2009, nakita niya, wasak ang taxi. Wasak talaga, basta na sa lamang puti. So lumapit siya sa taxi driver, bumunot siya at binigyan niya ng 500 pesos. Sabi niya sa dati, naawa ko sa taxi driver kasi wasak talaga ang taxi. You know what happened pala? Ang nabangga ng taxi pala ay wall. Yung wall na baka. No, yung wall na parang bakal. Kaya wasak ang taxi. Grabe, no? Because in between my son and the taxi, there is a wall. And that wall is the angel of the Lord. One time, when I and my wife, we were driving, we were in the intersection near the church. I saw my car. And my car hit a big car. Nag-stumble, baliktad na siya. And I saw it. I said to myself, I just bowed down. I said, Lord, spare my son this calamity. My wife could not talk anymore. Then suddenly we heard somebody knocking at the window. When I opened the window, she told us, don't worry. Your son is safe. I brought them home. See, did they run away? No, sir. Tatlo po kami. Sino kaya yun? They shall be an abomination, who shall not eat their flesh, but you shall regard their carcasses as an abomination. Whatever the water that the fins and scales, that shall be an abomination. Why did the Lord say that? Because the Lord doesn't want us to die. Right? Why? Because all bottom dwellers, crabs, shells, shrimps, and fish, and squid, and all those without scales are loaded with mercury, arsenic, lead. They are highly oxidizing toxic metals, and they will destroy the liver, the kidney, and all organs. Right? That's why the Lord does not want us to diet. That's why I tell you, if you follow the diet of the Lord, you will not diet. If you follow the diet of the Lord, you will not diet. Next slide. Okay. You will not eat these things: catfish, pufferfish, stingrays, eel, swordfish, lobsters, frogs, clams, shark. All of these are not to be eaten. Next slide. Whatever in the water. Okay. Neurologic illness associated with eating Florida pufferfish, 2002. It can kill you. Heavy metals in green mussel and oyster from Trinidad and Venezuela. It can kill you. Acute hepatitis A and non-ABC hepatitis are probably related to the intake of shellfish and travel to endemic areas. All of this can cause disease. High intake of fish, like salmon. Salmon is good because it has scale. Codfish, herring, etc. high in omega-3 fatty acid provide the following health benefits. From the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition 2003. Helps maintain cardiovascular health by playing a role in the regulation of blood clotting and vessel constriction. Are important for prenatal and postnatal neurological development. May reduce, so very important for babies, for their nerves and the development of the spinal cord, brain spinal cord. may reduce tissue inflammation and alleviate the symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis sa mga nilalayuma. May play a beneficial role in cardiac arrhythmia, irregular heartbeat, reducing depression, and halting mental decline in older people. Job 6:6-7. Is tasteless food eaten without salt? Or is there any taste in the white of an egg? I refuse to touch it. Such food makes me ill. So Job says, if I eat egg without salt, magkakasakit ako. You understand that, right? Salt food to taste. A recent study, Hypertension Journal, showed that those people who ate the least sodium had the highest risk of heart attack. If you are in a low sodium diet, also, you are at risk of dying from heart attack. Naintindihan mo yan? Mukhang baliktad na. Okay. Other studies suggest low salt diets may raise cholesterol and triglycerides. So baliktad. You like to increase your triglycerides? You take low salt diet. While a diet low in salt reduces blood pressure, it increases the levels of cholesterol, fat, and hormones in the blood that are known to increase the risk of heart disease. Of course, I remind you, cholesterol is not bad. A diet low in salt may not provide a net benefit in terms of health. Okay. American Journal of Hypertension, 2011. A moderate reduction in salt intake did not reduce a person's risk of dying or having heart disease. If you are in a low salt diet, still you will have heart attack. Okay? It will not protect you. That's why there are the salt of the earth. A Christian is compared to the salt of the earth. Why? Because salt is good, right? Salt is a good antiseptic. Salt will prevent heart attack. Salt will prevent stroke due to hypertensive crisis. You know why? If you are in a low salt diet, your blood pressure will fall, and that will make the kidneys to release renin. Renin is released when the blood pressure falls. Okay? Lack of salt, blood pressure falls, the kidneys release renin. And renin is an enzyme that will convert angiotensinogen from the liver to angiotensin 1. And that is a pro-hormone. And angiotensin 1 is converted to angiotensin 2 by ACE coming from the lungs. That is angiotensin converting enzyme. So it becomes angiotensin 1. And angiotensin 1 is 40 times more powerful than adrenaline in causing high blood pressure. It will cause malignant hypertension that can kill you suddenly. And another thing, angiotensin 1 will stimulate further adrenaline production, so lalong tataas ang blood pressure. Angiotensin 1 will stimulate aldosterone release, and aldosterone is a procrustic hormone. It will promote sodium and water reabsorption, and aldosterone will cause inflammation. It will induce inflammation of the heart. If the heart is already narrowed with aldosterone effect, you get a heart attack. Do you understand that? And of course, it's low salt diet during hot summer. That's why during hot summer, many dies of stroke because of low salt diet. The Lord finally says, Mark 9 verse 14, salt is good. Next slide. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, said, let food be your medicine, and medicine be your food. During the time of Hippocrates, he has no choice. Walang drugs noon, so lahat nagkain. But Hippocrates was treating people in the royalties. Royal blood, prince and princess and kings. That means he was the best doctor during his time. Next slide. Thomas Edison once said, the doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will interest his patients in the care of the human frame, in diet, and the cause and prevention of disease. According to John Emmanuel, Ambassador for Christ of the Ministry of Reconciliation, medical science, as it evolves, shall continuously trek on erroneous trail. I repeat, medical science, as it evolves, shall continuously trek on erroneous trail unless and until it judges with the exacting requirement of biblical wisdom. You cannot depart from the Lord from the works of your Creator.
Amen.
Thank you. And God bless you.
Prevention. How much dosage do we have to take? The milk, the egg, the honey, and the salt. Thank you.
For prevention, if you like for prevention, you can take 2 to 4 eggs a day. They're okay already. Honey, what I do is I take that 1 tablespoon with milk, always, either with whey milk or with unpasteurized milk, and I drink almost 1 to 2 liters of unpasteurized milk. So just imagine how many tablespoons of honey can I use. And I eat whey as powder to instant. Okay? So I don't know how much, but it depends upon your appetite. If you're okay already.
Apo po sir, you did a very wonderful work. I'm very proud of all those who came here today and also Dr. Binyabo. May I know how many doses of CoQ10 should I take? Because I'm a tennis player. And sometimes I'm tempted to play under the sun when I have to face, my opponent in tennis. And how much magnesium should I take? They say my weight is about 180 pounds. Thank you, sir.
CoQ10 will be required especially for people taking cholesterol-lowering agent. Remember I showed to you that if you interrupt the pattern in the production of cholesterol through when you block mevalonate, okay, so you block the mevalonate reductase enzyme inhibitor, and these are the cholesterol-lowering drugs, you block the production first of cholesterol, then you block the production of dolicol, you block the production of CoQ10. And that's why patients taking cholesterol-lowering drugs are susceptible to heart failure because of fall in CoQ10. Remember, CoQ10 is very important in the mitochondrial production of ATP. Okay, you're talking about CoQ10, right? So, if you are not lowering your cholesterol, your liver will produce a lot of CoQ10 and you'll be spared from heart attack and stroke. Another block in the pathway is the production of dolicol. When dolicol production is blocked, the result is you cannot produce good quality DNA because dolicol is involved in DNA production. So the DNA that you will produce is carcinogenic DNA, and the result is you get cancer, especially liver cancer. So regarding CoQ10, if you like to take this, that's okay. But if you are not in a low cholesterol diet, you eat a lot of cholesterol-rich food, you automatically produce CoQ10 there.
How about the magnesium?
Magnesium, if you're not eating vegetables, you will be deprived of magnesium. But in my case, before I eat and my wife, we always eat a lot of vegetables. Because the green thing, magnesium, the structure of the magnesium is similar to hemoglobin. The only difference is hemoglobin, it is iron over there. Chlorophyll. The chlorophyll structure, in the center is magnesium, whereas the hemoglobin structure in the center is iron. They're similar. So if you eat green leafy vegetables, because of this chlorophyll content, you get a lot of magnesium. But magnesium supplementation, you also get that from milk. But if you like to get supplements, that's no problem with that, it's okay. But eat a lot of vegetables and you get a lot of magnesium. Please identify yourself, sir.
I'm Dr. Norman Samonte.
Okay.
You specified unripened papaya versus ripe papaya. So why the difference?
No. You can use also ripe papaya. Ripe papaya, I would say the unripe papaya is rich in proteolytic enzyme. It is also rich in lycopene. Okay, but lycopene is also found in ripe papaya. So you can eat both unripe and ripe. Okay. The problem with the papaya, there's one big problem. That's one side effect. That means very intolerable for men.
That's the reason why Chris ate a lot of papaya?
Oh, in the papaya, the side effect is fall of the Roman Empire. But that can reverse by eating a lot of banana. So you eat a lot of banana, you reverse the effect of papaya. So if you have any plan for tonight, eat banana without papaya. Yes, sir?
Dr. Dr. Simpson, I am a heart bypass patient.
Yes.
And in fact, I have an angioplasty as 2007. So I am taking a lot of maintenance medicine. And one of this is yung anti-cholesterol. So, with this maintenance medicine, I think the liver is affected by this.
Definitely, sir.
So, if I am, what should be done to avoid?
What should be done, right?
To avoid affecting the liver.
Okay.
Because of spacing.
So sit down, sir. So that you can sing like a son. So, by the way, what's your name, sir?
Attorney Simpson.
Attorney Simpson. So you can sing like a son. You like to enjoy life, but he's taking cholesterol lowering drugs. Remember, cholesterol is no longer a problem. That's the latest, right? The latest now is those with Alzheimer, if they increase their LDL and their total cholesterol, the result is they get a sound mind. Remember I said that, right? And there are journals supporting that. And I told you, I showed this morning that the oxidative products of LDL, if it is true, these are the Birmingham doctors who studied that in England, they found out that oxidative products of LDL, oxidation, like fatty lipids, like with hydroperoxide and so on, if the LDL is a culprit, all of these oxidative products should be inside the atheromatous plaque. But they did not find anything in the atheromatous plaque. So the conclusion is that this hypothesis has no scientific basis. So LDL is not a culprit. LDL is a friend. As I said, it converts into steroid hormone in the adrenal gland. If your steroid hormone is down and you had a heart attack, you cannot reach the hospital. You will die on the spot. But if you have enough steroid hormone because you have LDL, you will not die of heart attack. So if you lower, sir, your cholesterol, you lower your LDL, it will affect your brain. Because the LDL supplies the brain with cholesterol. Because the brain is mainly cholesterol and fats. And the LDL supplies all your the adrenal glands to convert into steroids. And then all the hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone come from LDL. If you lower your LDL, the result is sa mga babae, you become menopausal, and sa men, you become andropausal. Sa Tagalog, parang nauupos ng sigarilyo. Okay? And then you are prone to cancer because you block blocking cholesterol synthesis, you also block formation of dolicol, and you cannot form CoQ10. The result, the heart fails, and you can die of heart failure. So a study shows there is an excess rate death on heart failure on those taking cholesterol-lowering drugs. So my suggestion, you should stop taking cholesterol-lowering drugs.
Like Lipitor, kasi usually it's the common cholesterol drug.
Yes.
Lipitor.
I have studies on this. I'll just show you this now. They conducted the MR-FIT study, which would cost about more than almost 200 million study. Okay? Multiple risk factor study. Okay? Multiple risk factor intervention trial, MR-FIT. And they want to prove to everyone. So their diet was all low-fat, low-cholesterol diet, okay? And their project, they aimed for a conclusion that they could lengthen the life of the people. They could prevent heart attack, they could prevent stroke, and so on. But the result is exactly opposite. The people died earlier. They died of heart attack, stroke, and even cancer. So there was a massive number of deaths. The result of MR-FIT, it is no longer mentioned to us in our meeting with doctors. They have forgotten the MR-FIT. So in Japan, they found out that they could prevent cerebral hemorrhage by increasing the cholesterol in the blood. So they did it. So Jacob went to Japan. When Jacob went to where they did the MR fit and to see the incidence of stroke and hemorrhage, and they found out there was a very high incidence among those who followed the MR fit study. So that means this MR fit, it shortened, instead of lengthening the life of people, it shortened the lifespan of the people. Another one study is, there are a lot of things, but that's not my topic, so I was not able to present this study.
Okay, in my case, as I have my family, whenever we eat, meron dyan fat na foods, I'm prevented from eating foods like kids. Kaya, pagkatsa ng misis ko, talagang, yung close garden niya.
Okay naman ang fat, wag lang pork. At saka wag lang talo. Kasi pag if you take the big talo, sa word talo, ito Tagalog, talo ka na. Okay, so bawal ang sebo. Okay, right? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Doctor, in cooking the cow's meat or any of those red meat, is there a way that's not good, like steak?
Yes, you can cook that as steak. And also my favorite is T-bone steak, that's okay, right? That's Tagalog.
We can cook it anyway.
Any way you like to cook it, it's okay. But kasi tanggalin yung sebo, you can eat the yellow fat. The yellow fat is rich in CLA, anti-cancer. The yellow fat, okay. Iba yung sebo, yung kulay puti yun na matigas. But the yellow fat is one found in porterhouse. That's good. Yes. Everything, the bululok can be eaten, except the bone. Okay. Yes, sir? Okay. Identify yourself, sir.
Thank you. I'm Gerald Regan, I'm the patient. My question is, would unpolished rice have the same effect as whole wheat bread? Because, in the Philippines, we don't grow wheat. So we are rice-eating people. So perhaps if we polish it, a lot of the nutrients are gone. So would brown rice and unpolished rice have the same effect as whole wheat bread?
Brown rice is good. It will have the same effect if you will just cook the wheat grain. If you cook the wheat grain and eat that like brown rice, it will have the same effect. But the major difference between wheat grain, when it is converted into bread, you have to apply their other baker's yeast. And the yeast contributes a lot of things. It contributes enzyme, it contributes essential amino acid. So it improves the quality of the bread. So the bread is more, that's why I told you, in my clinic and abroad, here in the Philippines and the entire Asia, nobody gets well of Hep B. But in my clinic and abroad, among whites, they got well because I give them whole wheat bread.
Any yeast will do? Bakers, any yeast will do?
Any yeast will do. Yeast is a probiotic, so it's good. The yeast used in wine making, and the yeast used in beer making, and the yeast used in bread making, they are of the same species, Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So isa lang po yun.
What would you recommend for a person with epilepsy who gets 2 to 4 seizures a month? How to reduce the seizure?
At the age of 14, he developed subacute sclerosing panencephalitis. This is a very dangerous condition that there is no treatment throughout the world. No treatment. Total brain damage. This damage became very small. The brain of a 70 years old. So the boy was brought to the Manila Doctors Hospital, and the panel of neurologists says there is no treatment, he would die. So he was transferred to the Chinese General Hospital. The panel of neurologists says there is no treatment for subacute sclerosing panencephalitis. They said he would die. So the mother was so unhappy about the thing. So what she did is that she texted everybody, all relatives, and they said, I'm not asking anymore for any doctor, but just your prayer. Pray for my son, because my son is going to depart. Because he was the only son. So, and the boy, so what she did is, she received a message from an uncle and said, bring your son to Dr. Navarro. So she talked to the son, but the son was, his voice was like, it's like that, like an old man, right? So she told Joven, I'm going to bring you to Dr. Navarro. The son answered, yung pautal-utal na boses. And he said, Mommy, we have been to the best doctors in Manila, and yet the conclusion is, there is no treatment for me. I'm already ready, Mommy, to face the Lord. That means she was willing to die already. Don't worry, Mommy, I'm willing to die. I will face the Lord. Alam niyo ginawa ng mother? The only son, tumalikod siya at humagulgol. Hindi na pinakita kay Joven. But ultimately, they were able to convince Joven to come to my clinic. They carried Joven, buhat nila, at inupo, binigyan ko ng medication, rapid cellular balancing, and then I gave a diet of high-fat diet. High-fat diet. Everything that I gave. Because remember, high-fat, fats, butyric acid converts to GABA. And GABA is an inhibitory transmitter in the brain to relax the brain, to prevent seizure. Okay? This is what happened. Joven, within 1 week, he started to walk and to speak. And the miracle is that within 1 month, Joven Atienza graduated, walked in the graduation and sang even during the graduation. Alam niyo ba kung anong kinanta niya? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Yeah. So my answer there is high fat, high cholesterol diet. The fat will stop the epileptic seizure, and also very important is magnesium for the brain and zinc. Yes, Dr. Rick Gwanson, Director ng Philippine Academy of Family Physicians, former President sa pagdating ng Philippine Academy of Family Physicians. Yes?
Yeah, congratulations, Dr. Robin. It was so well presented lecture, very exhaustive, and just to impress the crowd, I'm also attending the Peacemeet Convention because I'm also in IT. And 2 friends are delivering the same lecture at the same time. Dr. Jimmy Montoya, who is one of my very, very good friends from BCHRD, and Dr. Robin Navarro, who is, again, another of my best friends in Pangasinan. And I had to make a choice which lecture to attend between the 2 friends. So, when Dr. Jimmy Montoya started to talk, I signed him, I'm going out. And here I am, Robin, you don't know. I had to forsake another best friend for you because I wanted to listen to you.
Thank you, Doctor.
But anyway, the point here is something like this. With all the presentations that you made, which is what one of the other doctors said a while ago, it takes a lot of people with a very good understanding of physiology and biochemistry. And it is not the conventional, you must understand, of course, conflict of interest. I am now sponsored by a pharmaceutical company coming over here, but not necessarily the one he discussed. It's just declaring, where I stand. What I'm trying to say is, drugs, they are a billion-dollar industry. One of the reasons you will have difficulty in making people to be convinced with your procedure and your strategies, because I am also a believer in alternative and holistic medicine. So, and I've been telling Robin, you go ahead with what you've been doing. Actually, I wish to validate him today through an organization inside the Office of the President. We are actually validating 2 studies on the use of two plants. That's one is on papaya and another is on camote tops. They're using this to prevent dengue fever. So I chaired that particular research study, and we've been asking the PTAC people, the Philippine Institute for Traditional and Alternative Healthcare, to give us these studies. Unfortunately, it's not that easy to get these things. And as you were doing your lecture, I was laughing because all the while, the things I needed belongs to my best friend, and he's with me in Pangasinan. I've been asking people to supply me all the necessary data for research protocol, and he was lecturing it in front of me, and my goodness, I'm always with him. Oh, literally, no, nakikita kami, and I never bothered to ask him, Robin, do you have these things? So when I came here, I was telling, siguro gusto talaga lang just pumunta ako dito because the very question I'm asking the people is, nasan yung mga studies kaya nito? Kasi I don't have time anymore to search on the internet because of so many things. And here is Dr. Robin telling me the anti-inflammatory property. And we're looking at papaya. Its effect on dengue fever is more on membrane stabilization to avoid shock, which is the one that accompanies the dengue hemorrhagic fever, the shock. And then, of course, other than the membrane stabilization, its anti-inflammatory property and the other properties that you mentioned a while ago. And therefore, Robin, it's my first time to really see a full lecture like this. So I would like to give congratulations to my friend, my best friend actually in Pangasinan. And you have to believe him when he says it because there are evidences. In this day and age of producing documents where he has shown you different studies made by different organizations and respected journals worldwide. So congratulations, Dr. Robin Navarro. It was well delivered and excellent.
Thank you, Dr.